What kind of world do you want to see, and who do you think is going to help you get that world? Is it you can't sit around and wait for somebody else to create the world that you want to live in?
I would define interfaith as people coming together from a variety of different religious and non-religious backgrounds to do things together.
Faith groups coming together to improve situations across the world and not just relationships locally.
Is for people to come from a tradition, whatever the tradition that is. We're not asking you to leave your tradition at the door. We're asking you to just come as you are and participate in a plurality of people together, making the world to be a better place. Because we feel like diversity is really what this world is heading towards, and where we feel like the future is really. So,
different religions, different ethnicities, but we all have one common goal, which is to live peacefully in coexistence and to help each other. So that's why I think it's really important to always reach out and not to stick in our own bubble, but to always reach out.
So, especially America, with a country that's sort of predominantly Christian, we need to make sure that every religious voice is heard.
I personally feel like interfaith is a methodology for faiths to come together to improve relations of the two faiths, not just in America and Los Angeles, but across the world.
Partly ignorance and fear, but I think also there is an industry that wants to continue to look at Islam as a threat to American civilization.
People have doubts because they feel like they're going to lose their tradition, and people's parents, like, say you all are, minors, right? So your parents are worried that, well, Johnny or whatever is going to walk away from the faith or whatever that they were taught, or they're worried about that. So that's a big barrier.
So it's one thing to say, to be blunt, it's one thing for me to go and say, I am not a terrorist, but then for Christians and Jews to say, we know Sharif, we know Muslims, we know the Muslim community.
Expanding the perspectives of the public domain in terms of religious ideology requires us to be open-minded. It is no longer enough to tolerate one another from different faith backgrounds. It is time to learn to view the world from different perspectives. Collaboration to bring people together and form a spiritual connection is achieved through making real relationships. These relationships form through service and helping the community. These relationships bring communities together. Interfaith relationships bond so many and are able to affect and improve conflict throughout the world.
What is your purpose? What are you doing? How are you spending your time? What's valuable to you?
Security. When you know other ethnicities, other religions, you're safer.
And it exposed me to different cultures, and I began to become very open-minded and accepting from a very young age.
So we have so many things that we share. Let's emphasize our commonalities rather than our differences.